What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Comically Boston episode 249, and today is another Monday weekly nerdy news podcast, and I'm your host, Big Cam. Thank you guys so much for coming on by. We have a decent, chunky little show for you guys today, where we have some new movie posters we'll be going through at the start of this show, but the main topic of today is this new Thunderbolts Sentry teaser, and teasing that Sentry, aka Bob, is the new strongest Avenger in the MCU? I don't know. We'll be checking out that teaser towards the end. There's also a little bit of Last of Us Part 2 or Season 2 news. There's a little bit of DC stuff. And at the very end, there's some Daredevil Season 2 leaked black suit stuff that's been coming out from the filming of Season 2, which is spoilers, but I will warn you guys when we are going to get in that, but that will be at the end of today's show for anybody that doesn't want to see that. But let's jump right on into it, shall we? The first movie poster I want to look at today is the new IMAX poster for Sinners. We looked at a couple of movie posters for Sinners last week. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan's new vampire film coming out April 18th, right around the corner, and shot in IMAX, which is interesting. You wouldn't think that this would need IMAX, you know. Does seem like it's going to be a pretty grounded story, but there is vampires, so it could get pretty crazy. Haley Steinfeld's in there as well, two Michael B. Jordans, B-15 from Loki. I don't know, that movie looks pretty good. Now, I've never seen this show, but I believe this is like Season 4 or Season 5 of You on Netflix, and their new season comes out April 24th. I believe my mother watched that show, but comment below, is You worth it? Should I watch You? Which I believe is kind of a meta reference to the show. A new one that I haven't heard about coming to Amazon Prime April 3rd, so right around the corner here, Kevin Bacon's The Bondsman. He's gonna catch hell. And that looks interesting. I mean, I don't know much about it other than this poster and Kevin Bacon, and it's out in a couple days. I don't know if this is a series or a movie or what. Comment below if you know anything about this new Kevin Bacon thing coming to Amazon Prime. Now, I just watched recently The Accountant 1, and The Accountant 2 is coming out in April, and Jon Bernthal and Ben Affleck are brothers that we learned from the first movie, and that's kind of like the big spoiler for this movie 1, is that they're brothers and they don't end up killing each other, and it seems like they're teaming up almost a decade later. I want to say The Accountant 1 came out in like 2015, so 2025 we're getting the second movie. I do love Affleck, I do love Jon Bernthal, so the two of them together in this accountant movie looks pretty good. Here's another poster. This movie comes out April 25th this year, and only in theaters, which is gonna be interesting. But the Rotten Tomatoes scores have already started to roll out for this 2-hour and 5-minute movie, rated R movie, and with its 32 critic reviews, it is sitting at an 84%, which isn't that bad, you know, considering, you know, it's early access to those scores and early access to the premieres and stuff. That's a pretty good score. Now, another movie that I have the Rotten Tomatoes score that just came out recently is this movie coming out April 11th from A24 called WAREFARE. And this is from written and directed by Iraq war veteran Ray Mendoza and the Civil War movie director Alex Garland. And last year's Civil War was a pretty damn good movie. One of the most underrated movies of the year, for sure. And he has this new movie called WAREFARE coming out, and I see Will Poulter in there, Joseph Quinn. I'm sure this movie's going to be wild, so if you're into war-type movies, maybe you're going to be checking this one out, April 11th. But the Rotten Tomatoes score currently for that movie, and it's only an hour and a half, which is a good runtime for a war movie. You know, I'm sure it's going to be a packed hour and a half, but with 21 critics reviews, that is sitting at a 90% Rotten Tomatoes score. So, pretty solid stuff from those two movies. But moving on to the next movie poster that will be coming out later this year, November 21st, Wicked for Good, starring Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, of course, continuing on their spectacle of Wicked, but now the second one, instead of Wicked Part 2, they titled it Wicked for Good. And maybe we'll see Elphaba really take her descent into the Wicked Witch of the West type of moniker. who knows. But also coming out here in April, the same day that The Accountant 2 comes out, maybe I'll have to do an Accountant 2 double feature with the 20th anniversary of Episode 3 of Star Wars, The Revenge of the Sith, which may be the only movie I got to see, the only Star Wars movie I got to see in theaters as a kid, right? Like, I think I was too young to see Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, but Revenge of the Sith, I was probably 5 or 6 years old when this came out. Absolutely loved it and has sparked this entire journey of Star Wars. So shout out to Revenge of the Sith and the popcorn bucket that's going to be coming out with it. The little Darth Vader popcorn bucket for Regal. Now, I don't think we have any Regals near me here in Massachusetts, but that's a pretty cool popcorn bucket. I don't know if you guys know me. I got some popcorn buckets around somewhere. One over there, one up there. Captain America one there behind Hulk. But, you know, new Hot Toys unboxing for that Gladiator Hulk back there came out over the weekend. Go check that out if you haven't. That's a really good one. Just a little bit of DC news this week, and mostly a rumor, but I believe Giancarlo Esposito was doing press recently and had said that he wants to be in James Gunn's DCU now that he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Captain America Brave New World as a character called Sidewinder. He would like to play Dr. Freeze in the DCU, which a black Dr. Freeze with the actor chops and talent of Giancarlo Esposito, I mean, we gotta make this happen, right? I mean, like, it's phenomenal. I mean, Dr. Freeze's episode in the animated Batman show when I was a kid is one of the most epic show episodes ever, and you really fall for this character, and he's like doing it all for his wife, but like, he's a villain whose power is turning things into ice, you know? He doesn't need to be as campy and comical as Arnold Schwarzenegger's from Batman and Robin. Although I like that movie, you know, like, it's not a good movie, but as a kid I liked it, rewatched it recently, still like it. And by recently I mean within the last 2 years. I kind of need to get back into, you know, I used to rewatch things I like a lot more often. Nowadays I'm watching more new things than older things that I've seen. But I still want to go back and do like a Batman rewatch again sometime this year. I was gonna do it when I was building the Batmobile that came out, the Lego Batmobile that came out over the weekend too, but I didn't get around to it. That Batmobile took me weeks to friggin' make, and I've been catching up on a lot of TV shows. Haven't really been doing a whole lot of movies recently, but I've been watching White Lotus, I've been watching Jessica Jones, I watched all of the Daredevil series. The breakdowns for the 3 seasons of Netflix Daredevil are on the channel, along with Daredevil Born Again breakdowns have been on the channel. I watched Invincible Season 3. Comment below what you guys are watching, if you guys are brief intermission of what you're watching in the middle of this episode. But what do you think of Giancarlo Esposito being James Gunn's Dr. Freeze? I wouldn't mind that. But maybe we'll find out more about James Gunn's DCU and Superman potentially getting a trailer tomorrow, because Tuesday morning at CinemaCon, Warner Brothers is giving a presentation, and this is the poster they put out for their presentation. So Superman, with David Corenswet here, is maybe getting a new trailer tomorrow. Keep your eyes out for that, because if so, the trailer reaction and breakdown will be on the channel as soon as possible. The Last of Us Season 2 is right around the corner. That comes out April 13th, so we're about 2 weeks out from that. And there's a Pedro Pascal poster zoomed in on his face. There's a Bella Ramsey as Ellie poster zoomed in on her face. And then they released a bunch of other face posters for their characters. Abby, Dina, Isabella Merced, young Mazzino playing Jesse, Ratina Wesley playing Maria, Gabriel Luna playing Tommy, Catherine O'Hara playing Gale, which isn't a character from the game, and then Jeffrey Wright is playing Isaac, who is from the game, and he's actually reprising his role from the game as Isaac. So I'm sure Jeffrey Wright is going to be twisted in that show. But the real Last of Us news here is that the first episode, and I believe the second season will be 7 episodes, but episode 1 is titled Future Days, which anybody from the game knows that is believe a Pearl Jam song that Joel plays on the guitar for Ellie, and it's a very emotional scene. And this picture here, you see Joel handing her the guitar from the game, and promising that he'll teach her guitar, and one of the many promises he made her from season 1, along with teaching her how to swim, and I believe we'll get to see that maybe in episode 1. Because if it's anything like the game, episode 1 is going to be really bad. But I don't think they're going the route of the game. I think if for the game people that know what's going to happen, friggin' Vor, fucking Joel, that doesn't happen, I don't think, until like episode 6 or 7, right? And then episode 7 is them like taking off to Seattle to go after whoever, you know what I mean? And that's where I think season 2 or season 3 will pick up with like the part 2 of Last of Us Part 2, you know what I'm saying? But comment below if you're excited for The Last of Us season 2. Now getting into the Thunderbolts little teaser trailer. Now I'm very excited for the Thunderbolts, and all of the Thunderbolts might be in Avengers Doomsday, and I'm hearing that the post-credit scene might directly connect to Doomsday in the same way, and this was the example they used, in the same way that at the end of Thor Ragnarok you see Thanos' ship setting up the beginning of Infinity War. They're saying that that might set up Avengers, or that might be Thunderbolts post-credit scene setting up Avengers Doomsday. And that was like, what? I wasn't thinking putting any like Avengers weight on this movie, and now all of a sudden they're connected somehow. I'm fascinated by that. But there's a quick, I believe it's like 30 or so seconds of this teaser trailer for the Thunderbolts that I have here that we need to check out.
He's stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one, and soon to be known as Earth's mightiest hero.
Why would a god take orders from anyone at all? Maybe I need to show you what I'm capable of.
Avengers, you're gone. No one's coming to save the day.
We could be the people that are coming.
Wait, us?
Being a hero, there is no higher calling.
Very interesting there, right? Because they're saying, oh, there's a new hero in town. He's stronger than all of the Avengers combined and is Earth's new mightiest hero. What? And his name is Sentry, and then we hear him in like his dark voice, right? Because we see the dark outlined version of his character Sentry, which I believe is like his dark side, and they call him the Void, which isn't like the Void from TVA. He's just the void of all life or something. He's just the void of all color and darkness. But his normal look here is how he looks with the yellow and the blue. But I think the logo around his belt in the darkness there is just teasing that this guy can go dark at any moment. And we hear in that little teaser him go, why would a god ever like make himself available to humans or something like that, he says. And it's like, yeah, a god is going to do whatever the fuck he wants. And he goes, maybe I gotta show you guys what a god can do. And you would just see him turning people into like darkness, into shadows. Like, I don't know what is happening there, if he's killing them or just putting them into like a dark state of mind, or like sending them to the shadow realm, or something's happening there, and it's not good. But comment below your thoughts on the Thunderbolts. That comes out in May, so we're almost like a month out from that. Very exciting stuff. But currently, right now on Disney Plus, Daredevil Born Again has been going and just released episode 5 and 6 last week, and we have 3 weeks remaining. And Marvel Studios released these 2 posters right after the last 2 episodes, because we just learned more about Muse and his weird, creepy art and the blood art, and this is Muse-inspired blood art posters from Marvel, and you can see the devil's work is never done, and a Punisher logo on the bottom left, and just blood stains everywhere, as this is a matte poster for Daredevil Born Again. And then we also have, of course, a Kingpin one, where it looks like he's got blood smeared on like one side of his face, where you're getting like the Kingpin side versus the Mayor side. There's a king crown up on top, the true voice of the city, and he's kind of got like the New York skyline and blood down the bottom. Very interesting stuff. But Muse as a villain is very fascinating and very dark, and like I can't wait to see where the rest of this season 1 goes. But spoilers for season 2, they have been shooting in New York, and the footage that is coming out of the Daredevil Born Again black suit just really got me excited. So anyone that, you know, it is a spoiler because we're seeing stuff that we're not supposed to be seeing from season 2. But to me, it's not as much of a spoiler as it is because it's out of context. We don't know what's happening in these shots. So to me, I'm not spoiled by this, although I'm like, I wish it was a surprise and it would have blown my mind in season 2 when I first see this. But we're getting to see this early, like, you know, full probably year early from when we're going to get to see this. So we're going to take a second here and take a couple brief images at Daredevil's black suit, because the Daredevil black suit from the comics with the iconic red double D on the chest, there's this iconic shot of him in the outline of fire behind him and like this super bright light. And I think they're recreating this shot from the comics for Daredevil Born Again, because we see just a brief look of like him outlined by this white bright light in the fire. So maybe an explosion or something goes off behind him and we see the iconic Charlie Cox look, but in the black suit with the Daredevil double D on the chest. Oh, that looks so good. And here's just a shot of just the, you know, New York and what it looks like, all blown out exposure behind him. And then here's another shot of Charlie fighting, it looks like AVTF, which I believe is Fifth Task Force Against Vigilantes, Anti-Vigilante Task Force, AVTF, and it has like a Punisher logo on the chest. So these are like Punisher cops that Fisk has working for him. So it seems like this story of the Punisher police are going to be rolling into season 2. But the Daredevil suit looks pretty damn good with the red eyes and the red friggin' DD on the chest. People were saying that it needs a couple more accents of red throughout the suit, but I think this is his stealth suit, so maybe no. Maybe it doesn't need to be popping as red. But why does he have just the black suit on? Here's another shot of Charlie Cox in the suit and how good the Daredevil red pops off the chest. And you can see there's a couple little accents down on his belly and on the arm and on the chest, but that could just be blood drops from whoever he was fighting. But the black suit looks pretty damn good. And I actually have a little TikTok video of somebody that was standing on set watching this black suit.
Here we go. Ready and action.
Yeah, Charlie Cox is Daredevil, you know, he just right, like it just sounds so right and feels so right. As all this time I've spent with him as Daredevil, I can't not look at him as Daredevil. He is Daredevil, and I love him as this character. And very much so same as John Bernthal, like they are these characters. But John Bernthal's scream isn't right? Like he's almost throwing like the Muay Thai, oe, oe, ois, os, os, oe, you know, like where John Bernthal's just, you know, just coming to kill you, you know what I'm saying? But that's it for me today. That's all we have for posters and Last of Us, a little bit of DC news. Stay tuned for CinemaCon news coming tomorrow from Warner Brothers, maybe, potentially. We're about a week or so out, 2 weeks out from The Last of Us Season 2. Stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, Tuesday night, Daredevil Born Again Episode 7 comes out, so stay tuned for the breakdown for that coming Wednesday morning. Thunderbolts comes out in May. Stay tuned for more information on that and as we get it. And are you excited for that? What are you most excited for here? Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Thunderbolts, Last of Us, Warner Brothers, The Accountant, Wicked for Good. I don't know. Comment below your thoughts. What are you excited for? What are you most anticipating here in 2025? Thank you guys so much for coming on by. If you'd like to follow my other social medias, links down in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, liking this video, commenting down below is the best way to do that. Hitting the bell so you don't miss future videos and you get the notifications. And of course, subscribing if you haven't already is the best and biggest way to help the channel. And I really appreciate everybody that stayed this far in the video. My name is Big Cam once again. I love you, I appreciate you, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.